And I announced to friends, to family, to peers. I was in college at the point. I'm starting a supplement company.
Yeah.
Starting a dietary supplement company. And the response was, "Whew, it's a pretty competitive market out there. You sure you want to enter a competitive market like that?"
Mm,
And for a second, I started to believe this doubt. I thought, "Oh man, is this actually the right choice? Is this the right decision?" And I started justifying to myself, "Well, this is a multi-billion-dollar market. If I can just get a small share, I bet you I can at least do $100,000 a year." And I put this cap. I just want to get to $100,000 a year.
mhm.
If I reach $100,000, I can ride that for the rest of my life. And then you finally get there and you think, well, let me bump it up a little bit. Let's just do 200,000 and then 300,000. Then let's hit a million and then 2 million. And it was these small incremental steps for years and years and years because I never took the top off.
Yeah.
I never allowed my vision to be as big as possible. And then eventually I got to a point where I realized, these small incremental steps, I'm setting them and I'm achieving them because they are achievable
Yeah.
because I don't doubt them. What happens if like Grant Cardone's 10x rule, what if I set my goals 10x larger than I anticipate or expect?
Mhm.
I bet you I can hit that. And I did. And eventually you realize there's no ceiling to this.
Mm.
I'm in the driver's seat. I'm in complete control. There is no top end. I think once I realized that, I felt so powerful. I felt limited by absolutely nothing.
Was there something that you did to realize that? Like, was there a moment for you?
When you stack enough wins, you start to build some confidence.
Yeah.
When I stacked enough wins, which also came with a significant amount of losses
Sure.
as well, I quickly realized I've never been the smartest person. I've never been someone at the highest athletic ability. I never really stood out when I was younger. I was very average. So I expected average in my life when I was younger. And then once I started gaining more confidence and more wins and more success, I started to realize being smarter, that's not my competitive advantage. And that's not necessarily the competitive advantage of a lot of high
Mm-mm.
achievers and successful people. It's just being extremely consistent and just ruthless work ethic and just going all in on a vision. And I thought, oh, I can do that. It's funny. A few months ago, we were holding an event here at BPN HQ and we were outside and we were selling product and we were meeting with people and just hanging out. And this younger gentleman walked up to me and said, he pointed to the BPN sign. He said, "Man, one day I wish I could have something like this." I said, "You can. There's nothing that separates me from you. I just had this goal 10 years ago. I went all in on that goal and I haven't stopped working towards that goal since." And eventually you get to a point where you realize I am in complete control of my destiny and my outcomes
Yeah.
and the result.
And it's funny that you say that too, right? About stacking wins. And we talk about that and people always will ask, like, what is the one thing I got to do? As though if they have this one big win, they're going to succeed. They're going to cross that chasm. And I was like, hey, did you hit the snooze button this morning? Like, yeah. I'm like, well, you stacked an L. You had a loss instead of a W. Like, that's the one thing you could do every morning, not hit the snooze button. And now you got to win. You should be proud of yourself. And then maybe you drink 30 ounces of water to rehydrate your body. And then maybe another win is that you don't check your social media, your phone for a whole hour. Instead, maybe you just take a shower, do 100 burpees, journal, read a book, have a plan to actually GSD, get shit done the next hour after that. Like, stack those little wins over time. It's all about little wins. I can't think of any one thing we did where, like, oh my God, then we got 500 locations on board overnight. It was one, two, three locations. And every now and again, we'd get someone that buys a multi outlet agreement, 5 locations, 8 locations, 10 locations. Cool. That I believe is God or the universe rewarding me for the consistent, ruthless, pig headed stubbornness of hard work that I've done for the years. Going, here's an 8 pack for you. 8 Fit Body Bootcamp locations sold at once. Cool. But we built the entire brand on the back of one location at a time, one franchisee at a time, one relationship at a time. All of those are micro wins. And I start every morning with not hitting a snooze button, stacking my first win. And as it turns out, years later, I read about what's known as the confidence competency loop. And what that says is your confidence will go up the more competent you are. The more confidence you have, the more your competence goes up. Scientifically, they've proven it. So the more you stack little wins, the more little wins you will stack. The more you stack wins, the more confidence you will gain. The more confidence you gain, the more wins you will stack. And so confidence competency loop is a thing. And all of us who have achieved any measure of success have just done that. The small, dirty, ugly work that's not sexy, like social media, like a podcast like this, that gets the results. And those who think that there's that, what is that one thing I got to do? I don't know, win the lottery? I guess that would be it. What is the one thing that's going to financially change your life? Go win the lottery. Outside of that, it's all the little wins.